Welcome to Rigging Isn't Scary, the course that will teach you how to rig in Blender from beginner to a confident intermediate level. I spent over 4 months creating this course and I'm releasing it completely for free. This would have been difficult without the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. We'll talk more about them later on, but first, welcome to
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the
at how easy it is. Let's get right into it. The first problem that we want to solve is the wrist twist. If I select the hand and enable the rotation gizmo and rotate the arm on the y-axis, we get the so-called candy wrapper effect. In reality, the part of the forearm that is close to the hand twists along with the hand, and the part close to the elbow is mostly static. Try this with your own arm. Make it into an observation exercise. Observation will help you create better rigs. The way this is usually solved is by adding a bone in the wrist that twists along with the hand, while the main lower arm bone stays static. This is not exactly anatomically correct, but we only use anatomy as a reference. The goal is to create the effect we observe in the simplest way possible. I'll enable overlays and reset the transforms. I'll go to edit mode and I want a bone that is aligned exactly with the lower arm. It has the same orientation, but it is just shorter than it, about 1/3. Here is an easy way to do that. Press Shift D and duplicate the bone and then right click to cancel the movement. So we did duplicate the bone and placed it exactly at the same position as the original bone. And then right click again and choose subdivide. And then for number of cuts, choose 2. Then I'll enable X-ray to see my bones. And now I have 3 bones. I'll hide the big original bone. And because I only want 1 twist bone, I'm going to select these 2 and delete them. Then Alt-H to unhide the lower arm. Click a couple of times here to select your twist bone. Press F2 and name it lower arm twist.L. And generally, I want this bone to move with the lower arm. So I'll shift select the lower arm and press Ctrl P, keep offset. And as a result, In pose mode, if I rotate the lower arm, the twist bone moves with it. I'll select the lower arm and hide, and as a result, in pose mode, if I rotate the lower arm, the twist bone moves with it. I'll select the lower arm and hide it because it makes selecting this twist bone difficult. And next I want to set a constraint on this twist bone that will make it rotate based on the rotation of the hand. So let's select the hand, shift select the twist bone, press Ctrl Shift C. Again, this means that the constraint will go on the last selected bone and the first selected bone will become the target or the controller of the constraint bone. Can you find a constraint that may help us do what we want to do? Well, there is one called copy rotation, and that is what we want. Before we click on it, let's look at this list of constraints. It is quite a list and it may look intimidating, but we can simplify it. For example, the constraints on the left under motion tracking, we will not use for rigging. You already learned inverse kinematics, as well as copy location, and we are about to use copy rotation. And copy location, copy rotation, and copy scale are constraints that you'll be using a lot. And we'll also add dump track and copy transforms to this list of common constraints. The rest of the constraints are also powerful and useful, and we'll learn more about them, but ignore them for now, and this should take a big feeling of weight off your shoulders. Now choose copy rotation, and the constraint bone moved slightly. If I go to the constraints, I can click on this eye icon to enable and disable the constraint, and you can see the effect. And the reason for this offset is because of the target and owner orientations. By default, they're set to world space and world space, which means that the orientation of this constraint bone copies the orientation of the target bone exactly as they appear in the viewport. If you look at the options for target and owner, you'll see that there are a bunch of options, and again, this can seem very overwhelming. But here is another simplification that you're going to love. 95% of the time, you will either use world space and world space or local space and local space. And only in rare cases, you will use other combinations of target and owner orientations. Let's switch target to local space and owner to local space. And now our constraint bone will no longer be offset because it copies the local rotation of the hand bone. Since the hand is currently in its rest pose, the twist bone also stays in its default rest pose. But when I start rotating the hand bone now, the twist bone will rotate just like it because it is copying its rotation. If I only rotate the hand on the y-axis, this is the exact effect we are looking for. But the problem is that the twist bone rotates with the hand bone on all axes. So select the twist bone, and in the copy rotation options, we have axis. The twist axis is the y-axis, so if we just disable X and Z, and then rotate the hand, then the twist bone only twists with the hand, and it doesn't copy its other axis. Now, you can take this as the solution. However, if I double tap R, and rotate the hand at an extreme angle, you'll see a flipping of the twist bone. This only happens at extreme rotations. So if it doesn't bother you, you can keep it like this and you will have a very simple solution. But let's try to fix it and learn some useful fundamentals. And as for why it flips, these are mathematical problems in rigging that probably only developers understand fully. As a rigger, you mainly just accept them and learn to avoid them. And so to improve this, I'm going to select the hand and shift select the twist, press Ctrl Shift C and use a dump track constraint. As I mentioned, this is a very commonly used constraint. Nothing seems to happen because the effect of dump track is to make the constraint bone point at the target bone, which it already is, so seemingly nothing changes. If I select the hand and double tap R and try to find this flipping of the twist bone, it still happens. So at the flip state, nothing changes. Of dump track is to make the constraint bone point at the target bone, which it already is, so seemingly nothing changes. If I select the hand and double tap R and try to find this flipping of the twist bone, it still happens. So at the flip state, I'm going to select the twist bone and enable the X and Z axis, and this gives us a stable solution that does not flip easily. An important property of constraints is that they are stacked on top of each other. Just like mesh modifiers, the constraint stack is evaluated from top to bottom, which means that the lower constraints will override the ones above them if they affect the same type of transform. Both copy rotation and dump track affect the rotation of the bone, and so this copy rotation constraint makes the twist bone copy all rotation of the hand. Then dump track on top of it overrides copy rotation and makes the twist bone always point at the hand bone. But a nice property of dump track is that it doesn't influence the Y rotation value of a bone. It's just how it works. So the Y rotation from copy rotation is not overridden. In effect, the twist bone rotates with the hand bone only on the Y axis, which is exactly what we wanted. Let's clear the rotation and press Alt-H. Now our mechanism is in place. We just have to apply weights for the twist bone. So I'm going to go to Object Mode, select the body, Shift select the rig, Control P, and Automatic Weights. Now when you test it, you may feel... Let's clear the rotation and press Alt-H. Now our mechanism is in place. We just have to apply weights for the twist bone. So I'm going to go to Object Mode, select the body, Shift select the rig, Control P, and Automatic Weights. Now when you test it, you may feel disappointed by the result. Don't worry, we're going to fix it. I'll go to Object Mode, select my rig, Shift select the body, and go to Weight Paint mode. And part of the problem has to do with weights. Control P and Automatic Weights. Now when you test it, you may feel disappointed by the result. Don't worry, we're going to fix it. I'll go to Object Mode, select my rig, Shift select the body, and go to Weight Paint mode. And part of the problem has to do with weights. Automatic weights is applied based on the size of the bone, and so this big lower arm bone has a lot of influence over the whole area. So Alt and click on the twist bone. I'll set my weight paint settings like in level 1, brush to add, strength to 0.2 or so, enable auto normalize on the options, and this character is perfectly symmetrical, so I'll have the mirror option. Add strength to 0.2 or so, enable auto normalize on the options, and this character is perfectly symmetrical, so I'll have the mirror options enabled. Now I'm going to click in this area. I'll paint this part of the lower arm fully red like this, and then shift and click in the middle to create a softer transition. We still lose plenty of volume in the middle of added automatically sided. One twist. This character is perfectly symmetrical, so I'll have the mirror options enabled. Now I'm going to click in this area. I'll paint this part of the lower arm fully red like this, and then shift and click in the middle to create a softer transition. We still lose plenty of volume in the middle of this lower arm. One twist bone is simply not enough, so in level 3 we'll do more complicated setup with multiple twist bones. But there is a solution that will work for our single bone. I'll go to Object Mode, select the body, go to Modifiers, and find the armature modifier, which was added automatically when we set automatic weights. And I'm going to enable the Preserve Volume option. And like magic, our arm looks perfect now. And you may be excited and see this as a magic button, and yes, it is awesome, but check this out. I'll go to my rig pose mode and raise the arm, and notice this bulge here. That is caused by the preserve volume option. But that's okay, we'll keep it on and I'll show you how to fix this, and this is something that even advanced users don't know, so look forward to it. Okay, the wrist was the toughest mechanism to build. We had to learn some new ideas, but it gets easier from here. Next we're going to work on the
German music. I like it. I like it.
dipped down in leather. My crew dipped down in leather. My crew dipped down in leather.
They found a world where they seemingly have no problems.
shoulder, so let's see what the problem is. The problem is quite similar to the wrist. If I select the upper arm and rotate it on the y-axis, we'll get some unwanted deformation in the shoulder. Now, this is almost solved by the preserve volume option. You'll see it gets much worse without it. So it depends on the character. Sometimes with simple characters, just using preserve volume may solve the whole problem. Generally, the thicker the character is, the more we need additional bones. So let's do it for practice. I'll enable overlays.
What are you doing?
I'm just looking at the world.
Go to pose mode, phone. But that's okay, we'll keep it on and I'll show a softer transition. We still lose plenty of volume in the middle of this lower arm. One twist bone is simply not enough, so in level 3 we'll do more complicated setup with multiple twist bones. But there is a solution that will work for a single bone. I'll go to object mode, select the body, go to modifiers, and find the armature modifier, which was added automatically when we set automatic weights. And I'm going to enable the preserve volume option. And like magic, our arm looks perfect now. And you may be excited and see this as a magic button. And yes, it is awesome, but check this out.